Amazing, revolutionary, and world-changing. These words describe what are people building right now with the new Autonomous GPT AI agent. And I will show you the best examples we know this day. Many people misunderstand how these Autonomous GPT agents actually work. So let's not escape the matrix for once and let's enter it and let me explain. You know ChatGPT. You have a simple task and ChatGPT will do it for you. But what ChatGPT can do are complex tasks, and it's for these two reasons. ChatGPT input and output is limited. So first, if you give it too long prompt, it will start to selectively choose what it will do instead of following all the instructions. And the second, if the output is too long, it will cut the answer. And this is where AutoGPT enters the scene. Or let me correct myself, AutoGPT smashed onto the scene because in 7 days it gets more than 50,000 ratings from not any ordinary people, but programmers. Army of programmers just jump on it and test. You have to understand that AutoGPT is like ChatGPT but on steroids. So the question is why it's better, right? So it has internet access, which basic ChatGPT doesn't have. Then it has a long-term memory, so ChatGPT doesn't get overloaded. It has a file storage and summarization capabilities. And most importantly, it can call agents. Well, wait, like agents? Yes, like basically Mr. Smith agents. And the part with calling agents, that just changes everything. We use ChatGPT till now for simple, straightforward tasks that can be answered in one take. But ChatGPT that can create agents can 10x, 100x, or 1000x the output. Here's how we can use Autonomous GPT today with a simple example. I will use this web browser version for visualization purposes, link in the description. So let's say I want AI to be educator and I want to educate 1 million people about AI and how they can use it to improve their life. So the ChatGPT starts with the model after brief thinking and sets the tasks it needs to finish in order to achieve its ultimate goal. Not only it comes up with the subtasks, but it creates other GPT agents and assign them those tasks and start to manage the agents to achieve the goal. Here we have another example of AutoGPT engine, and it basically comes down in 6 steps. So the first step is on you. You give AutoGPT up to 5 goals. And in this example, do the market research for the waterproof shoes. Then the second, get the top 5 competitors, include the price for each. So the second steps, the ChatGPT comes up with the thoughts to achieve the goal. And in this example, ChatGPT needs to search individual brands and does the research itself. And the third step is provide the reasoning why it has these thoughts. In this example, why does it need to find more information? Fourth step for GPT makes a plan for the next step. It will create an actionable plan for what to do next. The fifth step, it uses a self-criticism feedback. It will create challenges he might encounter. And then the magic happens with the last step, and it creates the clones, agents or Mr. Smiths to do the subtasks. And then you take the whole piece and just repeat until finish. And after some time of autonomous work, it provides the result in the form of competitor analysis. If this is a little fast for you, so let me explain what's happening here. Agents are using the framework called recursive thinking, which is a process of solving large problems by breaking them down into smaller pieces, simpler problems that have identical or similar form. This is how we humans actually unconsciously solve things. And yes, I know it is pretty remarkable that we are teaching AI to do that. But this is not the first time this kind of methodology was used. Methodology. It's not the first time this kind of methodology was used. We can go way back in time, but let's also talk about this study that was made by Google and Stanford University just a few weeks ago. And what they did was this cute little game that looks like a Pokemon game, but it is less innocent than it looks like. This is a simulation of a social behavior that was in the virtual world called Smallville. Stanford University and Google gathered 25 AI agents placed in Smallville with the AI capabilities like memory, reflection, planning capabilities. And just imagine it like a Sims, but with a little difference. The bots are actually incredibly capable of creating human behavior, which led into some pretty uncontrolled involvements in Smallville. You can actually go and test it by yourself after watching this video. I will leave the link in the description. It is a recorded game, so you can basically go through the whole game. And what's interesting is that one character started to run for a mayor of Smallville, which led into elaborate campaign planning. Also, there was an agent that decided to organize a Valentine's Day party. It's pretty interesting to read if you want to go deeper. And I really can't wait when people start to generate these worlds and give us options to give them directions, like imagine creating a Gotham or something like that. We can also go like 3 years back when a similar test was done by OpenAI. And by the way, like, do you see the difference? Like Google testing these things now and OpenAI doing these things like 3 years ago? Well, OpenAI is probably way ahead. But let's talk about this OpenAI. So the first appearance of self-supervised agents was introduced by OpenAI like 3 years ago, and it was with the game Hide and Seek. And you maybe saw that, but you probably don't remember. OpenAI was asking a question if simpler rules of natural selection and competition can lead into intelligent behavior in a virtual world where agents play hide and seek. So the agents have just begun to chase and the other agents run away. It is a tough world for the hider who knows only to flee. However, after millions of hide and seek rounds, the hiders found solution. Hiders learn how to use the tool to their advantage by grabbing and locking the blocks, creating their own shelter. But the hiders must collaborate to accomplish tasks impossible for a single individual. Meanwhile, seekers also learn to use the tools. After many generations of failure, they learn to jump over the obstacles and using ramps. And as each team learns a new skill, it implicitly changes the challenges the other team faces, creating pressure to adapt. And OpenAI believed this would be the final strategy, but after more training, seekers discovered they could jump onto the boxes and serve them to the hider's shelter. And yes, the AI actually found a bug in this game and used it to its own advantage. So how do agents actually acquire these skills? Well, they're trained using reinforcement learning, an algorithm inspired by animals on Earth. Agents play thousands of hide and seek rounds in parallel for days, training against each other and past versions of themselves using algorithm called self-play. And through multi-agents interactions, they hope that with the larger and more diverse environments, the truly complex and intelligent agents will one day emerge. And this is where I believe we saw the first spark of AI agents. So what's the catch? Why we don't see the robots taking over the world? Where's the AGI? By itself, the model potential is somewhat restricted due to the lack of fine-tuning and multi-step process. Sometimes it is just hallucinating that it finished the task while it didn't. So basically it's just buggy. And what it really needs is a user feedback loop. But with these autonomous agents and with this multi-step process, it needs more feedback than ever. So this is where we come to the place, right? We as a users, 100 million plus users that is using OpenAI and ChatGPT, can actually give the feedback loop so OpenAI can update and it will get just better and better. And if you are asking yourself, like, can I go and make it by yourself? Yes, absolutely. Most of these are posted on GitHub, which is shared in the way of the open source programming repository. Does it mean that you have to be a programmer? Well, kind of, but if you follow a well-done tutorial, you can set it up in a day without any programming skills. And if you are tired about hearing all this technology that is just not ready for the real world use, and you're looking for something that you can take advantage today as AI, it's really just ChatGPT. Like, that is and will be the best breakthrough in 2023, trust me. And if you are struggling to understand how you can use ChatGPT in a day-to-day operations, check out my website, michalmuigos.com, where I create the internet's best bundles of super prompts. And I will post more AI content soon. And if you like this video, well, then you must watch this video where I spent $1,000 on buying ChatGPT prompts.